It is here, the Mist Woods update. It's been like 5 months. Has it been 5 months? 4 or 5 months since the last patch. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the hero changes, including the new hero, Hoodwink. I guess this is some sort of like Peter Pan type of character. It seems to be a core. But we're gonna go over it, we're gonna break down all the hero changes so that you guys can understand it. And just as a heads up, we will be doing all the other changes in separate videos. What I mean by that is this video is just gonna be hero changes, not including the shards. There are so many changes, if I put the shards in this video, it would take forever, so I wanna break all of the changes into 3 major parts. Honestly, every video is going to be like an hour plus, but it's going to be 3 major parts. This is going to be the hero changes, including the new hero, then we're going to have the shards, then we're going to do items and so on. So stay tuned for all of that, and let's get into it. So smash a like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be posting a ton, and guys, I mean a ton of videos covering the patch so you can get ahead of the meta and start to dominate your pubs right away. Let's get into it. And we've been waiting a lifetime for this patch. Speaking of lifetime, GameLeap is currently doing a $50 off sale on their lifetime sub. So if you're looking for thousands of videos and new daily content every day, you can get a lifetime sub for $50 off right now. This is a special we're doing for the new patch to celebrate. So click the link down below, sign up now, you won't regret it. It's quite a large discount. So I really recommend that you guys take advantage of it, and I'll see you there. Alright, hopping into Hoodwink, I'm gonna be doing my best to just simplify everything. I don't want this video to be like 8 hours long, because I know Purge's video is gonna be 8 hours long, so if you want an 8-hour analysis, go watch Purge. That's not what this video is gonna be. But nonetheless, Hoodwink looks like this, first of all. It's like a fox in a Peter Pan outfit, or Tinkerbell, whatever you want to call it. Then it's a ranged hero, a nuker, disabler, and escape, which kind of reminds me of Puck. When I hear range, nuker, disable, escape, I think Puck. So maybe this is some sort of like, you know, mobile ranged hero. But let's take a look at the abilities. So we have Acorn Shot. You fire an acorn at a target, which can bounce to nearby enemies, slowing them and dealing bonus damage. Can be ground targeted to create a tree, but the added bounce will be lost. So basically, you have a nuke that bounces. It sounds like the benefit of this in the mid lane is that when you bounce it off people, it does damage to everything around. So it's really good at wave clear, and it's good in the mid lane because it's going to shove the wave. So all in all, what I'm seeing is definitely a good mid lane ability, because basically it's going to give you the capability to shove the wave, which is very important. Next up, we have Bushwhack. Tosses a net trap that stuns enemy heroes if they are near a tree in the area. Enemies are pulled towards the tree and have their vision reduced to 0 for the duration of the stun. So that makes sense, because Bushwhack is going to be a combination with Acorn Shot. So Acorn Shot, you can either decide to do bonus damage, or you can plant a tree, which is going to allow you to bushwhack people. You know, something I'm already thinking of right here is you can create a tree by the mid lane and you can pull people to it near the tower, sort of like Magnus skewer, bring them under the tower. Then we have Scurry. Hoodwink passively has a chance to evade physical attacks while near trees. When activated, Hoodwink gains bonus movement speed, phase collision, and tree walking for a brief time. So basically, this is it's like kind of blur if you're near trees. So it gives you evasion if you're near trees, and then when you activate it, it's going to allow you to roam the map quickly. So what I'm seeing here is Hoodwink, it's very much about playing the map and being quick, going in and out. And let's check out the ultimate. I expect the ultimate to be a low cooldown ability. Hoodwink, okay, so then you have Sharpshooter. Hoodwink charges up and fires a deadly bolt from her crossbow, dealing heavy damage, slow, and break. Here's the Venom Assassin counter to the enemy hero. The damage and debuff duration scale up in time with her charge. So it seems like the longer you hold it, the more damage it does. It has a 5-second channel time and you can release it at any point, but it seemingly does more the longer you hold it. So it's actually probably not a low cooldown ability. But yeah, what I'm seeing here is maybe it actually might be a position 4, guys. It might be a hero that's just like kind of like a lockdown hero, like a Wind Ranger type of hero where you're it's like a Wind Ranger. Does this remind anyone of Wind Ranger? That's the vibe I'm getting. Okay, so we'll see. Maybe it's a mid laner. I'm sure people will try it as a mid laner, but I'm getting kind of a position 4 vibe where you're going to play it as this like in and out hero that has a bunch of nukes. So yeah, let's get into the hero changes now. I'm very excited for Hoodwink, but there are so many hero changes, guys. It is ridiculous. If these are all of the hero changes, and there are a ton. So lock in. I hope you got your popcorn, or you got your, it's cold, it just snowed where I am, so maybe you got that hot cocoa, but let's get into it. Avadon, Aphotic Shield cast point reduced, okay. Borrow time Scepter, it doesn't really matter. And by the way, guys, if I see something that I don't think is that consequential, I'm not really gonna dive into it. If I think it matters, I'll let you know, I'll give you all my opinions, but a lot of the time in patches, they kind of just make a couple of changes to give people like an incentive to play a hero, a reason to play a hero. But it typically won't change the game, and for those changes, I'm going to generally skip over them. I'm going to stick to what actually matters. So borrow time, scepter duration, you know, a 1 second increase, not a big deal. Then we got some talent changes. Nothing crazy. We do see a 65 damage talent on Avadon at level 15. So his damage talent was at level 20. Now it's at 15, which is actually a big buff to a potential Avadon carry. I'm actually a fan of Avadon carry, so I think there's some potential here. This is a very clear buff to make that viable, so keep that in mind, guys. Alchemist, unstable concoction mana cost reduced from 120. Okay, so they buff mana cost on concoction, making it a much better value point. So yeah, keep that in mind. Oh, they heavy buff the cooldown. So really what they're saying here is take a value point of the concoction. It's a much better, you know, level 1 spell now. Acid spray damage increased. Okay. Acid spray first damage instance is now immediate. Okay, wow, that's actually a big deal. So it's going to do quite a bit of extra damage. Gold bonus cap reduced. Last account from 5789 to 5678. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, so it takes less last hits to get up to your bonus cap, but you get less gold, so that's kind of a weird rework. If an ally already has a scepter buff for the item, it refunds them based on which version they have. Okay, so that's cool. So basically there's a reason to actually give people Ags, even if they already have an Ags. It just gives them sort of the gold back, right? Interesting. It straight up refunds them, so that's actually a big deal. You can basically give heroes gold now. That's a huge buff, actually. Alchemist granted scepter buffs provide the full stat bonuses. Wow, okay. That's a huge change. That actually makes giving Alch Ags so much better because it gives them gold and it gives them full stat bonuses. Alright, keep that in mind, guys. Alch late game is much, much better now. They did nerf the amp a little bit, but honestly, it's still a big deal. Ancient Apparition. Ice Blast max travel time improved from 2 seconds to 1.75. Okay, so that makes your ultimate quite a bit better. That's actually a big deal. Gonna make it much easier to hit. Chilling Touch mana cost reduced. Oh, this is a big buff to like core AA. I mean, it's a big buff to AA in general, but I've always liked like Ags on AA and that idea of going mid AA, so that's definitely an option. Anti-Mage, Scepter Reworked. Okay, Mana Break max burn decreased. Okay, so they just straight up nerfed that. Level 15, now you get armor. Okay, I mean that can be good in some matchups, but generally not a fan. Level 15 reduced. Okay, so they nerfed this 15 talent. Level 20 talent changed from Blink Uncontrollable Illusion, which no one took 9 times out of 10, to Mana Void Damage Multiplier by only 0.1? Okay, that's kind of underwhelming. 0.1? It better be a really good Mana Void game to take that. Scepter Rework now grants Blink Fragment. Okay, so this is your actual Ags, everyone. This isn't the shard. This is the actual Ags. Blinks an illusion at the target enemy or location and attacks them for 7 seconds. Okay, so uses Blink cast range. Illusion cannot be controlled, deals 50% damage, takes 250%. Casting Counterspell also casts it on the Fragment illusion. It's only a 20-second cooldown, which is actually very low. So what I'm seeing here is basically on a 20-second cooldown, you can just like grief some hero. You just send an illusion at them that I'm assuming burns mana. It probably gets all of your extra stuff as well. So that's actually kind of legit. You get to send an illusion on someone. That's cool. Arc Warden, strength gain reduced from 3.0 to 2.8, bit of a nerf. Scepter Rework, after impacting an enemy, Spark Wraith now spawns a new Wraith, which then starts its activation period. Okay, so basically you can have infinite Spark Wraiths with your Aghanim Scepter. That's really cheesy late game. Okay, it does have a 3-second spawn delay, but still. Oh, so it's max 2. Okay, so it's max 2, but it's still really good late game potentially, unless they change the talents. Oh, it looks like they did change the talents. Oh, let's see though. Okay, level 10, nerf to the flux cast range, nerf to the cooldown reduction. Okay, that's kind of tough. So they're just straight up nerfing Arc Warden. Nerf to attack speed, 1.5 Spark Wraith cooldown to 150 rate damage, and then level 25 talent to 12-second Tempest double duration. Oh my god. Okay, well, they hard nerfed this hero, but now at level 25, that is brutal. This Tempest double lasts for forever. Okay, Axe, Battle Hunger, cast range reduced. But oh no, wait, okay, it's rescaled, so The cast range gets much better as you max it. Bit of incentive to max it. Scepter Rework. Berserker's Call applies Battle Hunger to affected units. Battle Hunger also reduces enemy armor by 7, that's a high, and grants you 7 per affected target, half on creeps. Oh my god, you can get so much armor with this. Lowers Berserker Call cooldown by 2 seconds. Oh, okay. That seems pretty legit. The only problem is, once again, when you buy Axe on Axe, because Axe needs a BKB, he needs like a Blade Mail, a Blink, so you'll have to buy this as like your 4th or 5th item, but it could be legit. That sounds pretty cool. Level 10 talent, okay, so you get mana regen, that's solid. And then they made the level 15 talent to 25 movement speed, and also they got rid of the attack procs counter helix, which was only good if you bought Manta. It was pretty cheesy, to 300 health. That seems a lot more reasonable. Bane, night vision improved. Wow, that's a lot of night vision for Bane. Kind of makes sense though, the hero's like, you know, Bane. Brain Sap changed from magical to pure. Okay, so they changed it back. The damage was reduced though. Okay, so it's basically the same damage. Yeah, so it's literally the same damage, but it's pure. So it's better if people have Hood. So it's better later on, which I guess is a buff. Brain Sap Scepter no longer improves the cast point, it just reduces it. What? Why would they do that? Fiend's Grip damage type changed from magical to pure. Okay, that's actually a big deal. Oh, but once again, they nerfed it. So basically, they're just buffing later game Bane when people have like Pipe. Swap the Nightmare and Enfeeble hotkeys. Huh? Why would they do that? Okay, sure. What? Rework Enfeeble. Oh, it's a spell now. Reduces, oh, is it not? This is so confusing. It reduces all attack damage by 25, 35, 45, 55%, regeneration, and cast speed. Cast speed? By 30%. Oh, so it is inactive. Does not pierce spell immunity, and its cooldown goes super down. Man, this is the same problem Bane always has. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh my god, this is so broken. But it's always the same problem with Bane. Your hero does not get levels. Your hero does not farm. It has no wave shove. How do you get levels for 3 active spells? It's so hard. So I'm not, like, this was the problem with Bane in the past. Sure, this hero's much better later game, but like, you don't even want that with Bane. I don't like, I don't know. These changes are weird to me. Bat Rider, base armor increased by 1. Sticky Napalm no longer does less damage to creeps. Wow, that's big. Oh, but okay, they nerfed it though. Sticky damage per stack is half. Sticky Napalm turn rate slow, hard reduced. Oh my god. The radius was increased though, so it's easier to hit people with it. Firefly movement speed reduced. Flaming Lasso cooldown increased. Flaming Lasso cast range increased. Flaming Lasso secondary scepter. Okay, who cares about that? This just seems like Bat Rider nerfs. What? So basically, your Q at level 1 is significantly worse. So guys, you really need to don't take Firefly at level 3. You need to take Sticky Napalm at level 3. You have to take it at level 3. You did get 1 armor, which is great, but I don't know, this seems like a nerf to me. Also, like a lot. This is such a bad. Why did they nerf Bat Rider so hard? They must have been making this patch when he was like getting picked or something. I don't know, this is weird to me. This just seems like a hard nerf to Bat Rider. I mean, the one thing I will say is it's easier to last it. You know, because you actually get the full damage, especially once you hit level 3, but yeah, it's not even much better at level 2. I mean, at level 1, so I don't know. Beastmaster, wild axis damage increased. Okay, that's actually, oh no, it's only 10 per each. And then some talent changes, nothing crazy. Basically, they want you to take Axis is what I'm seeing here. They want people to go the Axis build. Okay, there is one big talent change. 100 wild axis damage to 350 health Beastmaster controlled units, so basically all your units get extra HP. Bloodseeker, wow, he lost a lot of intelligence. Blood Rage HP reduced to 2, okay, that's a big buff. Attack speed increased, Blood Right damage reduced, so they made that worse. So basically, they're nerfing the Blood Right. They're saying Blood Right is broken, we're nerfing Blood Right. So they nerfed the Blood Right, however, they're buffing the hero. Okay, so basically what they're saying here is we don't want Bloodseeker to be an offlaner, we want him to be a core, because they're nerfing the Blood Right, but they're buffing the other spells. They buffed Blood Rage, they buffed the Thirst, it no longer provides half heal when within range, so man, you're just gonna, oh my god, this hero heals so much. Did they reduce it? Okay, they did reduce it. They reduced it, but wow, Bloodseeker heals a lot. So this hero is like gonna be a really tanky hero now. It's Blood Right, it's just not that good. So maybe you take the Q and the E now because you heal a ton more. That's definitely an option. You heal a lot more, so maybe you can actually take the Q now. Keep that in mind, guys. Bounty Hunter, base movement speed increased by 5. That's very good for the hero. Intelligence increased by a lot. Like, okay, it's increased. Shadowwalk slow increased. Not by a ton, but by a fairly decent amount. Track speed radius increase. Oh, that's big. That's really big, actually. That gives you so much more radius on the track movement speed. Okay, so overall, some nice Bounty Hunter buffs to his movement speed. Brewmaster, base agility reduced. Why so many changes to Brewmaster? Oh my god! A Drunken Brawler now passively provides 6, 12, 18, 24 evasion. What? Okay, so it gives you passive evasion now, and critical strike chance. It now can be activated to provide 3 times chance for evasion and critical strike, and alternate between 20% slower and 40% faster for 5 seconds. Drunken Brawler cooldown increased. Okay, so they made Drunken Brawler a value point. Kind of. Not really? What? This is so weird. Primal Split Earth Bruling armor increased. That's nice. It actually died so fast late game. But they sort of reduced the health. Okay. So it's nerfed at level 1, but it's better later on. Kind of bizarre. But they gave it HP regen. I'm not reading all these. They just made them tankier. They made them tankier. Okay, that's what you guys need to know. I quickly just read them all. They made them tankier. Primal Split now has 2 charges and can be cancelled at any time. That's the Scepter. Your hero forms back on whichever Bruling you cancelled it from. Charge replenish time is equal to normal cooldown. That's cool. So you can get 2 ultis with Axe. That's kind of cool. You can, like, let's say you're also dying, you could cancel it so you don't die, right? Because if all the Brulings die later on, you die. But you can cancel it to prevent that. That's cool. That's kind of legit. Late game, that's actually maybe even early game, that's legit. Just having 2 constant ultis, like 2 ultis that you can just charge, that's kind of cool. Because this hero, you know, his ulti is really good, obviously. Then some talent changes. Okay. Warpath bonus damage increased from 22 to 28. Okay, so they buffed Warpath a lot. Vicious Nasal Goo also increased max stacks. Vicious Nasal Goo's Scepter radius increased. Oh, so they're just straight up buffing Bristleback. Okay, so big Bristleback buffs. I honestly felt like this hero had potential, so I like to see this. I definitely see potential in Bristleback. Brood. Agility gaining reduced. Okay. What? That's it? Stampede duration rescaled from 3.5, 4.5. Stampede damage hard increased at level 1, so it does a lot more damage at level 1. It doubles it. That's big. And then they increase the Stampede duration, so they're just making Stampede better. Divine Favor no longer has an active component. Oh, okay, so he can't do that now? Holy Persuasion can now be cast on an already converted unit teleported to you, or it can be cast on your own hero to teleport all creeps to you. Okay. So Chen can't bring people around the map now. Is that all I'm seeing? Oh, now it's this shard. Okay, very cool, Gaben. Very cool. Clinks, base mana regen reduced. Oh, that stinks. Level 10 talent is now 8 agility, and 20 talent is 10 strafe cooldown. That's pretty good. Okay, the 10 strafe cooldown is legit at level 20. That seems legit. Frostbite damage interval changed from 0.7 to 0.25. Same overall damage, just the first instance is at 0.25. So basically, it does more consistent ticks, which is better for killing people in certain circumstances. Frostbite DPS changed. Okay, we already read that. Same overall damage to both heroes and creeps. Okay. Ion Shell radius increased. Nice. Talent to armor. Who cares? Who cares about the other one? Scepter Rework causes Ion Shell to have 2 charges. Oh, that's cool. Increases duration by 20 and provides 350 health. Oh, that's nice. I actually see that as super legit potentially. It is, you know, once again, it does cause you to buy a Scepter instead of like a Shiva's, which is always the big issue with Scepter. You know, the item's just so expensive. But hey, you know, 20 extra duration actually allows you to have this on a ton of people in team fights and in fights in general. So I can totally see that. And third cool though, base intelligence increased. Curse Crown cast range increased. That's by a lot. Bramble Maze cast range. Oh, also nice. Terrorized. Oh, but Terrorized was reduced. Okay, but it's still super big, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Various talent changes. Shadow Realm cooldown now we have, so maybe that's a little bit better for the Ags early on. Oh, but that's at level 10. Okay, interesting. But they got rid of the cast range at level 10. Oh, that's bad, actually. So, well, they did buff the cast ranges to be fair, so it's not that bad. Alright, that's not that bad. They buffed the cast ranges, and they gave you 2-second Shadow Realm, so I can actually see that as legit. Dazzle, Shallow Grave duration rescaled. Okay, so it's shorter early on, but okay, that's weird. I think this is good, but it's weird. The cooldown was decreased at level 1, makes sense. Shallow Grave cast range increased. Nice, so it's just a better level 1 spell in terms of duration and cast range, but not really duration. Scepter Rework, this is like the 18th Scepter Rework on Dazzle. Causes Shadow Wave to dispel allies. Alright, it makes it good in some games, but like why not just buy a Lotus, you know? Increases heal by plus 60 and it increases damage by 80. Oh, okay. Base movement speed increased. Whoa, what the heck? Oh my god! 25 movement speed? What the? Spirit Siphon no longer drains movement speed. Okay, so to be fair, it doesn't give you movement speed though. Spirit Siphon charge replenish time, it's just better now. So it's better at level 1. It's a worse spell, but it's better at level 1. By the way, this also makes Death Prophet a much better support in the laning stage. Just keep that in mind. Exorcism Ghost speed increased. Turn rate improved. Alright, next up we have Disruptor. Level 10 talent increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Very cool. Doom, Scepter Rework. Causes Doom to apply break and reduces cooldown from 145 to 100. Okay, that's a big cooldown reduction. The break is cool. So now Doom... Wait, it used to be like that though, right? Wasn't that always the case? I thought that was always the case. Am I crazy, guys? Well, still, this is a big cooldown reduction. Very cool. The only question is, why not buy Octarine? I guess maybe you could say buy both. But personally, I'm probably going to buy Octarine and then the Axe. Nonetheless, Dragonite. Breathe Fire mana cost reduced. Okay, so it's a better level 1 spell. It's just down by 10 mana. Dragon Tail damage increased by, okay, 25 at all levels. Elder Dragon Form Splash Radius increased. So nice, you do more splash damage in a bigger area. It's not actually more damage, just in a bigger area. And a talent health change. So overall, nice stuff for DK. Drow Ranger, base damage reduced by 2, Frost Arrow Slow reduced by 1% extra at every level. Not really a big deal, I'd say. It's still very strong, so not too much to worry about. But really, this seems just like a lot of nerfs, no? Marksmanship Agility bonus for Scaled, so it's worse at level 1, but better by 1% at max, so a bit of a nerf, I'd say. Marksmanship Damage bonus reduced by, oh, okay, so what I'm seeing here is Drow is much worse early on, but she scales better, so it makes like the early timing of Drow a little bit worse, but not too bad. And then a bit of a talent change. Earth Spirit. Earth Remnants duration reduced from 2 minutes to 1 minute. Okay, so that's the boulder you put down. They don't stand there for forever, but that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Enchant Remnant now can be cast on Remnants. Has a 5-second cooldown when used this way. So you can kick the extra Remnants. That's the Ags, right? This is kind of bizarre. Ember Spirit. Intelligence gain increased from 1.8 to 2.2. Activate Fire Remnant Scepter mana cost. Oh god. So they just made his Ags much worse now? They gave him more int, but made his Ags Scepter mana cost increased? That's bizarre. I don't get that. Enchantress. Cooldown rescaled. Oh, Enchant. Cooldown rescaled. So it's worse at level 1, but better later on. So this is kind of nerfing the early game timing of Enchantress, which has been, you know, consistently abused by pros, which is, you know, you take over a bunch of creeps constantly or slow people constantly at level 1. So they're making that worse, but it's better later on, which, I don't know, makes her maybe a better offlaner, kind of. Sprank upgrade no longer grants 150 attack range passively. Sprank now launches an impetus attack on the 3 furthest enemies within your attack plus 200, but the cooldown's nerfed. I don't know, that still seems horrible to me. Enigma. Demonic conversion attack point improved by 0.1. Demonic conversion duration increased by 5. Okay, this is actually pretty big. These in total are very strong. Malefice cooldown reduced by 4 seconds at level 1. Wow, that's big. Some big Enigma buffs. Level talent. Okay, so they nerfed. Oh no, they changed the talents. So now you have a stun duration at level 10, which is actually quite a bit. It's plus 1 second total stun, right? Because it's 3 ticks. The cooldown. Oh, that's tough. 2 seconds less of cooldown reduction. Not the end of the world, but hey, you know, it's Enigma. 2% is a lot on Black Hole. And then Midnight Pulse Radius. Wow, that is a huge radius. I think you definitely might. This is tough because that's CDR, right? So this is a big radius though. That really covers a large area. This can be great for defending towers. Void. Base agility reduced by 4. Base damage unchanged though. Okay, so he just has less attack speed. Time lock bonus damage reduced by, oh my god, by half. Wow, that is a lot. Woo, jeez. Okay, that's a hard void nerf. My god. That is brutal. Grimstroke. Base attack range increased. This makes him a much better laner. This hero always had attack range issues, but makes him a better laner. Inkswell max damage reduced. Okay. Inkswell max values now happen after 2.5 seconds of touching an enemy rather than 3. So it's easier to get the max damage, but it's less max damage. Okay. Phantom's Embrace mana cost reduced. So it's just less mana. Phantom Embrace cooldown rescaled. So it's less at max, but more early on, which just seems... Okay, this is all pointless. Dark Portrait Illusion increased. So this is if you get your Ags, it's 10 seconds longer. So hey, Ag's Grim Stroke is better. Phantom's Embrace now refreshes the cooldown if the target it was cast on dies before it reaches them. Okay, yeah, I remember this happening. Sometimes you would have this issue where if you casted it but they died, you wouldn't get it back and it was annoying. And then, okay, -4 second Ink Swell cooldown at level 10. Well, that's a lot. Sure, you don't get the damage, but I think I'd rather this. So, all in all, that's big. Gyrocopter. Attack backswing animation reduced from 0.65 to 0.1. Oh my god. So this hero can attack move much better now. Base damage range rescaled from 40 to 50 to 42 to 48, making him more consistent, but less overall, like less max. Base agility increased by 7. Oh my god, Gyrocopter with the attack speed buffs. This hero's about to attack speed you to death. Huskar, Berserker's Blood max attack speed increased. Oh, by a lot at level 1. Okay, this makes this hero a much better laner. Very interesting. Better laner Huskar. Life Break, Scepter duration increased. Life Break, Scepter now also increases cast range. Nah, pointless. They're just trying to make you take, no. Invoker, Forge Spirit now spawns 2 units when both Quast and Exhort have 4 points. Oh, that's like the old one. That's the old Invoker, right? That used to be the case as well. If you had Quast Exhort at 4, you would get 2. Forge Spirit armor reduction cap increased from 10 to 20. Oh my god, okay, you could, jeez, they really want you to go. Okay, so this is basically saying, hey, Exhort Invoker has been hard garbage for a while, let's bring it back a little bit. So that's cool, I like that. Cataclysm increased though, so the Ags is a bit worse. 40% Chaos Meteor damage, I like this talent, it's a lot of damage, guys. Like 40% extra is a lot. It really, I think this talent is quite good. 1 Forge Spirit summon to 40 DPS Ice Wall. I mean, hey, people can get stuck in Ice Wall for a long time, so I don't think you would take this over to Cold Snap though. That's the other one, right? So I don't think you would take that. 40 Alacrity damage to 35. All right, not the end of the world. And wow, okay. But 10 seconds less on Tornado now. That's pretty big. IO no longer has instant turning before actions. Okay, so your hero can't just cast things. It has to actually turn. Attack point increase, so IO has a worse attack point, which means it just takes longer for the attack to not come out, but your hero just has like a bit of more stop when it attacks. It has to stop. Base damage increased. Oh, that's a lot. So it has a lot more base damage, which is good with Overcharge unless they changed it. Tether slow increased, oh my god, to 15 at level 1. Tether movement speed bonus rescaled. So it's worse at max, better at level 1. Okay, I would say that's probably, balances out. Tether heal transfer reduced. Okay, so you less healing, which obviously is not good for IO. 30% less at max. It's a pretty big deal, so that hurts quite a bit. But this hero, from what I'm seeing, is a much better laner. Spirits now has the in and out sub abilities again. Oh, why? Spirits damage increased? Oh, by 10 at all levels? That's actually a lot. Spirits collision damage increased as well. Oh, so this hero farms much more. This just seems like a ton of like core IO buffs, no? Like they want you to play core IO, like take spirits now and play core IO. Overcharge attack speed reduced. Okay, so they nerfed the attack speed on that by quite a lot though. So maxing this out isn't as good. So they really want you to take spirits is what I'm saying. They nerfed maxed out tether and they nerfed maxed out overcharge, so they're kind of incentivizing spirits. I still don't know if this is going to make people stop taking overcharge though. Relocate, cooldown increased. Oh, that hurts. Back to the old one. No longer 60, back to 80. Shakiro. Juggernaut, Blade Fury radius increased. Okay, interesting. I guess that can help secure kills. Omnislash is no longer restricted from initially being cast on Ancients. Oh, what the? Illuminate mana cost. Chakra magic no longer can be cast on enemies. I didn't even know that was a thing. Remove Blinding Light as a basic ability. It has a new ability. Oh my god. New Cuddle ability. This hero has been changing. Added Solar Bind as a new ability. Lowers the target's magic resist by 15 to 30. Causes the target to become increasingly slowed the more it moves. So it's like mana drain but with movement speed. Each 100 units moved reduces the target's movement speed by 4 to 8.5%. Cast range 700 to 850. But it's a long cooldown. So basically, this is really good at kiting people. Spirit Form is now an ultimate ability. What? Oh god, so now you don't have Will-O-Wisp either. Spirit Form is now an ultimate ability. Transfers your hero into a Spirit Form, granting you movement speed, extra cast range, and makes a Blinding Light. Oh, and it gives you Blinding Light too, which is, the mischance thing. 40% miss, knockback distance, and damage. So and recall. So it's old Coddle again. So basically your ultimate is the old Coddle. You get Blinding Light and recall. So back to Coddle being Chen. He took it back. He has recall again. The cooldown is only 90 seconds. Okay, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, hey, I like the idea behind this. And now your Scepter is Will-O-Wisp. Instead of a stun on Flicker, it applies a movement manipulation that pulls units inwards at a rate of 60 units per second, but does not prevent attacking. Oh, that's much worse. It doesn't actually stun them, it just like pulls them in. That's, I mean, sure it's a 60 cooldown, but meh. Kunkka. Intelligence gain increased. The Rum movement speed increased to 12%. Base HP regen, a little bit of HP regen for a tanky hero, it's nice in the lane. Cast range at level 10, so they want to make him, I guess, a support. So they're saying, hey, pick Kunkka support, guys. Remember, that used to be a thing? But then these two aren't Kunkka support, so I don't know. Legion Commander, level 15 talent changed. Oh, so a big buff to the overwhelming odds. That's about all you need to know. Leshrac, Scepter Rework. Grants the ability Nihilism. Grants you a temporary aura that causes you and all nearby enemies in a 450 AoE to turn ethereal, preventing them from attacking, causing them to take 30% more magic damage and be slowed, increases your speed rather than reducing it. Oh, so it makes you go up by 30%. That's cool. I mean, hey, basically what I'm seeing here is your ulti is AoE Ethereal Blade. I mean, your Scepter now. Okay. Lich! Level 10. No. Life Stealers. It has a new ability. Base attack speed reduced by 10. Feast increased. Okay, so it increased the feast. Oh, but it's no longer gives attack speed. Oh, well, there goes that. New ability is Ghoul Frenzy. Passively causes Life Stealers attacks to slow enemy movement speed for 1.5 seconds. Additionally, okay, so now instead of just, oh, but what? How do you even farm? So sure, you get extra attack speed when you hit people, but you can't farm with it. Isn't this just horrible? Like, isn't this just straight up horrible? This hero is unplayable if I'm reading this correct. I don't know, you guys can tell me what you think in the comments. Scepter Rework allows infesting an enemy hero for 4 seconds, attacking inside them every 1.5, so you hit them 3 times. Enemy heroes gain no bonuses from infest. Doubles self-regenerate. Okay, that's just cheesy as heck. Lena! Yeah, her base damage was reduced, her base armor was reduced, making her a worse laner. Fury Soul attack speed increased, though. Oh, so it scales much better. However, Light Strike array cooldown, so basically they're saying, hey, you're not going to be this broken level 1 support. You're more of an attack speed core now. So incentivizing Lena mid, pushing down Lena support. Laguna Blade mana cost reduced. So definitely seems like a Lena core thing. Okay, interesting. Yeah, definitely Lena core. They're incentivizing Lena mid. Lena mid is better. Lion, agility increased. Better trading in lane. Earthspike cast range. Wow, 75 cast range on Earthspike. That's a lot. Hex unit movement speed reduced. Okay, so Hex is a little bit better. Mana Drain multi-target now searches for, yeah, who cares about that? And Finger of Death Scepter reduces mana cost by 25 at level 3. Oh, okay, it was just a bug. Luna, base agility increased by 6, but the base damage was unchanged, so she gets more attack speed. Lunar Blessing damage bonus changed from 10 to 34% to just a flat number. Okay, so it's better early on, worse later on. So basically, Luna's, you know, she's much better early on into the game. You might want to consider maxing this out in the laning stage. It's going to give you a lot of damage. So you get more attack speed and more damage early on, so that's definitely viable early on, but I don't know, it makes her a worse scaling hero, which I feel like is the whole idea behind Luna. Lunar Blessing Night Vision increased. Oh wow, so you get even more Night Vision. This hero sees everything at the night. However, the glaives were nerfed, so a bit weird. Lycan, Howl cooldown decreased, Howl mana cost reduced. Feral Impulse no longer has a radius, affects your units anywhere. Oh my god, oh that's huge, guys. So for any of you who are not Lycan players, your extra damage ability that gave extra damage to all your units and was the reason why you buy units like Necro and, you know, have wolves on Lycan. It was kind of an issue if you tried to split push with Lycan if you weren't there on the actual hero, because your units would just do like much less damage. But now that's not a thing, so split pushing Lycan is much better now. Magnus, Empower Duration rescaled to 40 at all levels, so it's better at level 1 but worse at all levels. That's definitely just a nerf straight up. That is definitely a nerf to Magnus. That is actually it's quite a big nerf actually, guys. Like, this is actually quite a big nerf. It's gonna be hard to keep Empower on people. Scepter Rework releases 3 shockwaves. Alright, who cares? That sounds horrible. Mars, God's Rebuke mana cost increased from 65, 70, 75, 80 to 80. Okay, so it's just worse level 1 now, which is what people were doing. However, the mana cost on your ulti is better at level 1, which helps this hero. However, the damage is 20 less. Oh god, that's not good. Oh geez. So now this hero is going to have a much harder time early into the game. You do less damage, a worse rebuke mana cost, and a worse ultimate. That's pretty tough. Scepter Rework creates invulnerable soldiers in front of you while Bulwark is toggled on. Soldiers move alongside your hero and deal your full damage with a bonus 75 damage. Applies procs as well. Enemies can only be attacked by one soldier at a time. That is bizarre, but definitely interesting. So kind of gives you this ability to just like walk up to people with Bulwark on and man up to them. That can be pretty strong, you know, because let's say you have to man up to a Terrorblade, you can maybe actually fight him now. Meepo! Oh, Meepo, the hero that no one plays. Turn rate improved by 0.05. Scepter Rework grants a new skill, Dig. Clones also have this ability. Channels for 7.5 seconds and digs into the ground for 3.5 seconds, dispelling you and causing you to become invulnerable and untargetable. Restores your HP over that duration. So this is basically Dig, just like Pokemon Dig. You go into the ground and you're untargetable, so you literally can't be damaged. That seems pretty horrible, not gonna lie. That seems completely useless. Monkey King, basic armor increased by 1 again. Oh my god, dude, how tanky do they want to make this hero? Mischief cooldown reduced by 5 seconds. So wow, he's just even tankier now. My god, dude, Monkey King is such a menace in the laning stage. Every 15 seconds you can just not take damage from some sort of spell, and you have another armor. Dude, this hero is so tanky, actually. Whoa, actually, Morphling gets 30 strength at level 25. Oh my god. That's a lot of strength. Naga Siren. Mirror image cooldown reduced. Oh, okay, by 2 seconds at max. 5 seconds at level 1, actually. That's big. Makes her a much better laner. Ensnare cast point reduced, so you cast Ensnare quicker. Very nice. I actually like this. And at level 20, you get 30 seconds Song of the Siren cooldown. This actually makes your split pushing much better. And Scepter Rework allows Ensnare to target spell immune units or sleeping units. Reduces the Ensnare cooldown by 5 seconds and increases cast range. Alright, probably not going to buy that. It's just too expensive. You know, I'd rather just have other items. Nature's Prophet. Your treant movement speed is worse at level 1, but better at max. Okay. Nature's Call treant base damage? No! Don't nerf it again, come on. I mean, I guess they attack more often, to be fair, but they attack more often, but they do less damage. That's so bad, that's just bad, because with treants, you're not looking to hit things constantly, you're looking to hit like creeps at the same time and burst them. Frick you, Gaben or Ice Frog or whatever. Sprout backswing decreased, okay, so you can cast Sprout and not have backswing. And your damage increase per bounce was reduced, alright. I'm just going to move on. I don't even want to read this. Well, you got a Scepter Rework. Lowers cooldown from 85 to 60. Entangles all enemies it hits. Duration scales from 1.3 up to 3 seconds at max bounce. Alright. That is hot garbage. It does reduce the cooldown, but no. Nyx Assassin. Base intelligence increased by 3. That's a lot. Vendetta damage increased by, oh my god, 100 at max. Whoa, that's big. Impale cast point reduced, so he casts, oh, just a ton of Nyx buffs. Okay. Okay. Maybe Meteor Hammer Nyx coming back. I feel like this hero was already like a bit underrated, so I feel like Meteor Hammer Nyx is kind of legit. Not going to lie, this is a lot of damage at max. I mean, to be fair, this is level 18, but even here, 50 pure damage, it's really good for solo killing people. It's a big deal. Overmatch Eye, base damage reduced by 2, Ignite mana cost increased. Ignite first damage instance is now dealt immediately. Fire Blast mana cost reduced by 5 at all levels. Alright, so basically Ogre is, Ignite does a little bit more damage technically, because it deals damage right away. Oh no, it just does it right away. So, basically, it's much better at canceling blinks. That's a big thing. Ignite wouldn't cancel blinks. Like, it would take a second to cancel their blink, or whatever it was, 0.2 seconds. And, people could blink out when hit by Ignite, but now they can't, so that's interesting. Omni Knight, Heavenly Grace duration reduced by 2. They definitely saw him getting picked recently. Like, they just put this in, like, you know, 3 days ago. They're like, oh, shoot, this spell's too good. 2 seconds off. Outworld Destroyer. What? They changed his name? Oh, what the? Why did they change his name? Okay, sure. So he lost agility, but gained better minimum damage. Astral Imprisonment cast range. Okay, so he has the Astral Imprisonment cast range back again. So finally you can cast it in your laning stage. Oh, but the duration. Oh, but it's only 1.75 seconds. Oh my god. Astral Imprisonment no longer deals area damage. Okay. So it's back to the old Astral, where you have super high cast range. It's only one target, but it's 1.75 seconds. Astral Imprisonment damage to a single target increased, so it does 20 more damage at level 1, which is not a lot. The mana cost, when are they going to make this legit? I'm like, keep waiting for the change that's going to make me like, say like, oh, that's cool. Astral Imprisonment mana cost reduced. I mean, sure, I guess. It steals, oh, there we go. Okay, here it is. It steals max mana from enemies for 30 to 60 seconds. It doesn't increase your current mana values, and it doesn't reduce the enemy's current mana value directly. Oh, so let's say they have 93 mana, but they have 400 max mana. They'll still keep their 93 mana. It'll just bring them down to 30 mana. That's kind of what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Okay, but it makes your ultimate much better. I don't know. This seems like a joke. I don't know. This seems bad. Now your hero has no wave clear unless they change his other spells. Mana cost change to 20% of your current mana. Oh, okay. So it's 20% of your current mana, which is good. When you're running out of mana, you still can cast it. That's cool. Arcane Orb cooldown increased from 0 to 6, but the damage was increased to 14%. Oh, okay. So basically, they made it much stronger at level 1. Basically doubled it, but it has a cooldown. Actually, I think that's kind of a buff, because you wouldn't cast it constantly anyway, because it costs too much mana. So this just straight up seems like a buff to me, because you're gonna... I guess maybe what they're trying to say is, like, you take Astral later on now, you're gonna max your Q, maybe? Maybe you max your Q? I don't know, this is weird. I don't know, OD. This is just weird, because you lack wave clear now. Essence Flux no longer has an active component. Oh, okay. Sure. Pangolier, Shoot Crash damage increased from 75 to 90 level 1. Very cool! And the mana was decreased, so now people might take a value point. It's actually a good value point. I think it was underrated as a value point. It just costed mana, so that's why people wouldn't take it. Pango has mana problems. And the cooldown was reduced as well. Okay, so it's a better value point. Next up, Venom Assassin, the hero that has been considered to be broken. What did they do to her? Nothing? Oh, let's see. Blur Fade Time for non-Scepter reduced. Okay, so Blur's Fade Time is better. Blur Evasion was reduced, though. Not by a lot. Nothing substantial, I'd say here. Really? Did they actually not nerf the hero? Okay. Another slight nerf. Nothing too big. Another slight nerf. I mean, it's a bunch of slight nerfs. I guess maybe Valve felt like this hero wasn't that bad. So, PA is still good, guys. Okay. Venom Lancer. Base intelligence increased from 19 to 21. Okay. Spirit Lance mana was rescaled. That doesn't seem like it really is a buff or a nerf. That just seems meh. Phantom Rush agility is still provided if the dash is cancelled. Oh, that's a big deal. That's actually a big deal, because basically you can use it. Like, let's say you don't want to go on a hero, like you cast it on a hero, you can cancel it and still CS with it. Or you can cancel it and hit like a new target. That's actually kind of legit. Phantom Rush minimum proc distance reduced from 250 to 200. Minimum proc distance. I don't even know what that means. Phoenix Supernova cooldown increased by 10 seconds. Tough. Mana cost rescaled, so it's better at level 1, worse at max. Sunray mana cost increased, not surprising. Level 10 talent increased. Okay, so basically they just nerfed his ulti. These other ones don't really seem too bad. So his ulti is just slightly worse. I would say still pick Phoenix, definitely. Definitely. Okay, definitely. Agility gain increased from 2.2 to 2.5 on Puck. Turn rate improved. Here's some Puck buffs. OG's been picking this hero, but this seems like buffs. Oh, extra damage on Illusory Orb. A buff to increase on Waning Rift, so it has a better cast range. Dream Coil Scepter Link Break Stun. Rescaled. Dream Coil initial damage increased from 100? Oh my god, they're just buffing. So this is just a ton of Puck buffs. Oh my god, his hero's getting buff. Well, I guess Thompson's gonna be picking a lot of Puck. It's just, I mean, they're not like crazy buffs. It's just like a lot of small number buffs, but it's a lot of them. So I feel like it's gonna add up, you know? It's pretty cool. Alright, Pudge. Whoa, Pudge! Everybody's favorite hero. Just kidding. Base damage increased by 2. Base armor increased by 1. Hey, that's a big deal for Pudge. This 1 armor is going to give him like 7% extra reduction or something like that. It's actually a big deal. Agility gain reduced though. Oh, okay. And strength gain reduced. Okay. Flesh Heap magic resist. Oh, thanks, Valve. As if that talent... I mean, you're still not going to take that. Alright, Pudge is still trash. Dang, I really thought they were going to do something to him. I really feel like this hero is not good. Still. I don't see how any of this changes anything. This Scepter seems like garbage as well. Quap! Strength gain increased. Razor, base movement speed increased by 5. That's nice for a Razor. Base HP regen increased as well by 1. This makes him a much better laner, so he's a much better laner. And Plasma Field minimum damage increased as well. So that's big. So basically... this hero is a much better laner now. Ricky, Smokescreen can now be cast during Tricks at a Trade. Oh, that's interesting. It's really good for saving yourself. That's actually a huge buff, because a lot of the time people would stun you out of it, right? Like they would time it and they'd stun or silence you out of your Tricks at a Trade, but now you can silence them and cancel it and then get disengaged. That's a huge buff, actually. I'm serious, guys. I actually think that's massive. Smokescreen radius increased by quite a lot. The miss rate was rescaled. Oh, okay, so, oh no, it's just a buff, basically. It's worse at level 1, but better at level 3 and 4. Smokescreen mana cost reduced as well, so a ton of Smokescreen buffs. Tricks of the Trade Scepter cast range reduced. Okay, so they just made the Ags work, but it upgrade now hits 2 units at once rather than 1. Oh, wow. Oh my god, can you imagine Battle Fury Ricky with the Ags? Dude, Battle Fury Ricky with Ags, it's just gonna like mega cleave people actually. This is so much cleave damage potentially. I would keep that in mind. I'll probably make a video on that. Rubik, Arcane Supremacy no longer provides debuff amplifications. Arcane Supremacy now provides cast range. Oh, that's cool. Kind of weird though, because it's not the debuff amplification, which was like a big thing for Rubik. You could arrow people for like 7 seconds. But hey, this is kind of cool. It's cast range, which in certain games is actually really good. It's a lot of cast range, but I don't know. Spell Steal now provides debuff. Oh, okay. So Lift doesn't get buffed though. So the thing is, Lift is not as good now, basically, guys. So all of your spells will still get buffed except for Lift. And the Fadeable damage reduction also doesn't, the duration on that doesn't get increased. So basically, Rubik's own spells are not as good, but the other ones are still good. The cooldown was changed though, so now it's worth, oh, this is just a nerf. Because at this point in the game, when you're level 18, you might already have Ags, so that's kind of meh. This is kind of just a nerf. The 6 extra seconds can make you lose a fight, actually, in my opinion. People might disagree with me on that, but eh. Spell Steal Scepter cooldown rescaled from, okay, I mean, you're probably not going to, you might get Ags here, so that's actually a nerf to the Rubik. That is actually a pretty big nerf, because like that extra 2 seconds is pretty huge. Sand King, Epicenter now uses cast time instead of channel time. Oh, whoa, what does that mean? Epicenter radius increases. Okay, so, whoa, is this just a huge buff to Epicenter? Is that what I'm getting? Epicenter now uses cast time instead of channel time? So basically, you can't cancel it. Am I wrong? You can't cancel Epicenter? That's so big? Now you can just stun and ulti people and you don't have to worry about it being canceled? Is that what I'm seeing? And it's like massive. Right away, it's massive. So how Epicenter works is it gets bigger the longer it's going. But now it's just instantly huge. Oh my god. If that's what that is, that's a huge buff. Holy schnitzers. Shadow Demon. Shadow Poison is no longer dispellable? Whoa, that is crazy good actually in a lot of circumstances. That is, whoa, that is actually so good. A lot of heroes that counter Shadow Demon were actually heroes with purges, because you could purge this stuff, but you can't purge it anymore. Woo, that is a this hero was already getting picked, now it's just getting buffed. Demonic Purge Scepter upgrade buff now ends when a new one is cast. Oh, so, oh, deals damage relative to how long it lasted. Okay, so you can't just instantly explode someone. Alright. Shadow Fiend, Shadow Raise, mana cost reduced at level 1. Oh, wow. Oh, that is really big. 15 less mana at level 1 on Shadow Raise. That is huge. It makes it much more spammable. That's actually such a big deal. Okay. Wow, huge Shadow Fiend buff. Massive Serpent Ward damage increased. It's actually pretty nice. 10 more damage at max. It's a lot, considering it's, you know, it's what, 8 snakes? It's 80 extra damage per go. 15 times. Alright, who cares? Silencer, last word Scepter radius increased. Alright, sure. Slaughter obviously had to get nerfed. Let's see what they did. Sprint movement speed reduced. Not by a ton though, only 2% at the level. It's not that bad. The River also, oh, but it's better at max. So it's worse early on, but better at max. That's not, oh no, I'm stupid. Okay, so Slaughter Sprint is better at level 1, but worse at max. So I would say that's a nerf, considering this hero is not really being played as a 4. To be fair, if you play position for Slaughter, it's kind of a buff, because it's better at level 1, so it helps you roam and contest runes. Slithering Crush mana cost increased. That makes sense. It was kind of a broken spell, but honestly, this does not seem that bad, dude. This hero is still mega viable. They really did not nerf this hero much at all, to be honest, so... you know, its Ags is nerfed, but really not by that much, so yeah, Slaughter is still mega viable. Alright, Slark, Shadow Dance, cooldown reduced. Oh, by a lot, 10 seconds at max, that's a big deal. That makes him much better late game. 10 seconds is a lot, considering this is a kite hero, right? Pound Scepter range increased. Okay, alright, yeah, it's better for late game Slark. Snapfire, Cookie mana cost increased, Shredder mana cost reduced to level 1, so it's better in the laning stage, better value point. Basically, they're saying, hey, take a value point of Little Shredder, guys. That's also what they did. This is a value point spell. I definitely think 1 point in this is viable. Gobble Up now has a mana cost, makes sense. Gobble Spit Out no longer has a mana cost. Oh, so basically it just takes your mana right away. Okay. Gobble Up can now target special units like golems. Oh, so, okay, so it just couldn't pick up certain things and now it can. Its impact damage was changed from 400 to max the current glob values from your ultimate. Okay. So basically, it's just a pretty big nerf to the Ags, but to be fair, That was making this hero a broken mid laner or strong mid laner. It did so much damage. You would just get like a 2-minute Ags and then instantly kill people with 400 damage. But okay, they nerfed that. Sniper, strength gain increased, agility gain reduced, base agility increased, but the base damage, oh, but that's a lot of attack speed here. So much more attack speed at level 1. Better for the laning stage. Definitely better for the laning stage. Ooh, 5 seconds less on Shrapnel. I like that. Better. That's much, much better. Okay, base sniper buffs. Spectre, base attack speed reduced. Okay. Dispersion, okay. Better at level 1 in the lane, but worse at max. I would say that's a nerf. Spectral Dagger, much worse in the laning stage. Oh my god, much, much worse in the laning stage. Okay, so basically, you can't really cast Dagger that much in the lane. It's a long cooldown and much worse in mana. Spirit Breaker, Nether Strike cooldown, which is his ultimate, reduced by 10 seconds at all levels. That's a big deal. The Scepter cooldown increased. Why would they nerf it? Scepter movement speed bonus increased. So, that's so weird. Why would they do that? I don't know. Why would they increase the cooldown? Like, that 1 extra second matters. Like, I don't know. I don't like that. Storm Spirit talent increased. So, he gets 50 extra health at level 15. Okay, I don't care about the other one. Actually, Overload bounce causes your attack to bounce up to 2 times at random enemies. Alright, I don't know. Can bounce back if there's only 2 enemies. Honestly, that's actually kind of good. It can do a lot of damage. That's kind of good, actually. Okay, that could be good. Sven, God Strength reduced. Alright, so it doesn't instant kill you anymore. 30% less. 10% at level 1, 20, and 30 at max. So a big nerf to God Strength. Stormhammer Scepter no longer applies attack on impact. Alright. A lot of people in my comments were saying that they thought this would happen, so you guys were correct. Now you do not get a free auto attack when you stun them. That's how the old Scepter worked. It just hit them for you. And the bonus range was reduced as well. Hey, a lot of the people in my comments guessed this basically exactly right. Nice, guys. You're so smart. Templar Assassin, base strength increased, so she got 40 HP. She got extra attack range. That's a big deal. Psyblade attack range bonus rescaled. Oh, okay, so it's better. Oh, wow, that's a lot of extra attack range. So basically, this hero at level 2 is going to have 40 more attack range, which is actually a big deal. It allows you to position much better, so big Templar Assassin buff. Psyblade spill range is now 2 times your attack range. Okay. Oh. But it's harder to hit people with Psyblades level 1, so interesting. Interesting. They gave you better attack range, which I think helps this hero in the lane, like sort of, because you can position better. It's harder to get stunned, harder to get auto-attacked, but I don't know. Weird. Reflection duration increased at level 1, so it's a better value point. Terror Wave ability is now gained when equipping Scepter rather than after Metamorphosis cast. Oh, okay, that makes the Ags much better. You can actually use it now. However, the fear was reduced by a lot, so you can use it whenever you want. You don't have to have meta, but it's much worse. It sends units away from you rather than towards the fountain. Okay, that's actually much... It's not necessarily better, it depends. Oh, it grants you meta for 10 seconds? Oh, that's kind of good. That's kind of viable though. Because like, let's say you get caught in a bad situation, it gives you meta for 10 seconds. It also increases your meta by 10 seconds if it already has meta going, right? That's kind of legit actually. Oh, okay. That's kind of legit. Tight Under Kraken Shell block increased. Okay, wow, better at level 1. So that's he's much tankier in the lane now. Timbersaw, level 10 talent, extra HP potentially. Whirling Death base damage reduced by 10 at level 1. And then eventually 20 at max. Oh wait, no, it's increased. Oh, so it's worse at level 1, but it's better at max. Okay. The range was increased, so it's easier to hit. Timber Chain speed increased. Oh, so it's much better at level 1 now. That's a big buff. Because this thing was so slow, now it's much better. Oh, so this hero just got buffed. What? I can't believe it. I thought Timber was going to get nerfed. Okay, so they just buffed Timber. Chakra Scepter now slow. Now stacked independently from the primary chakra. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Tinker upgrades your laser into a shrink ray, causing it to have a 400 cast range and reduces the enemy model size and current health values by 20. And it stacks! Laser bounces once on the furthest target up to 700 range from the primary target. And it targets heroes. Okay. Well, you can basically just make people small and reduce their max HP, which is really legit late game. This seems legit to me against like tanky team comps. You can make a 5,000 HP hero have 1,000 less health, you know, and it stacks. It's kind of good. I like that. That's cool. Tiny cooldown reduced, tree grab cooldown reduced. So they're trying to make you take tree grab again. Avalanche deals 2. Oh wow, Avalanche does 0.5, 50% less damage now. Right? So for anyone who doesn't know, Avalanche does 3 times the damage if the person is in the air, right? So if they're affected by toss, Avalanche did 3 times. Now it only does 2.5. Grow damage, wow, that's a lot. at max. Was that 45 extra? I can't do the math. 35 extra damage. Oh, that's huge. This hero scales much better now. And yeah, okay, so they're trying to make this hero like a right-click core again. They basically want people to make him a right-click core, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. The ability's kind of trash in my opinion. We'll see though. Treant Protector. Overgrowth now interrupts targets again. Oh, okay, so well, that's a big buff. If I'm not mistaken, that means it cancels things like CM ulti and Witch Doctor ulti, but I thought it did that already. Am I missing something? What does that mean, guys? You maybe can explain that in the comments. I'm a bit lost on that one. I thought I was thinking like, oh, now it cancels things like Witch Doctor ulti and CM ulti, which it did it in the past, I think, but we'll have to see. Berserker's Rage movement speed increased. Oh, that's nice. Much better at level 1, so 5 extra movement speed at level 2 essentially, which is typically when you take this spell, so that's actually a big buff, right? 5 movement speed is a big deal. It really is. Walrus Kick now targets a direction and kicks the closest enemy unit to you within a 250 radius. Oh, so it, okay. Oh, no. No, they changed the Ags. I loved Walrus Kick. That was one of my favorite things. Now it kicks them to you, which I guess makes sense. It's like you pull people to you and then you punch them, right? Like that's the idea. But nah, I don't like that. Ah, come on. I'm not a fan. I actually think that's just a nerf. Underlord. Now he gets 2 Firestorm wave count at level 10. Oh, that's a lot. 2 wave count. So it takes 2 more times. That's a ton. Okay. Undying. Yeah, this is expected. Mana cost increased. Yeah, 15 at level 1. That makes sense. Soul Rip damage heal reduced as well at all levels. So basically, yeah, I don't know. Is this going to kill the hero? I feel like Undying's still legit. Like this isn't that bad, but it makes him much worse at level 1, which is obviously his biggest, strength. But alright, big nerf. Ursa, overpower cooldown reduced. Oh, nice. At level 1, so basically you can actually take it in the laning stage. Oh, and it's 10 less mana. Wow. Okay, so they're really trying to say, hey guys, stop taking the Q, take the W and take the E, which I actually have been thinking for a while. Maybe is legit again. Keep that in mind, guys. W and E Ursa. However, they did make Urshock's slow increased, but at level 1, so it's a value point. Okay, I see what you're doing, Valve. They're saying, hey, take a value point of Urshock and then go for the other 2 spells. So value point Urshock, WE. I think that's the vibe. Vengeful Spirit, base intelligence increased by 2. Magic Missile cast range increased. Oh, that's a big deal. So nice, it actually scales now. You can actually cast this spell, and she got extra mana. She needed that for a while. And the projectile speed was increased. Wow, okay, Magic Missile is just a much better spell. Vengeance Aura no longer increases attack range or primary attributes. It no longer has an illusion or death mechanics. Oh, okay. Actually, I kind of like that. It was just annoying. Venge Aura now increases base attack damage by 32% at max, but 3... Oh, that's it? Oh, so it's back to old Venge. Okay. Nether Swap no longer has charges. The cooldown was reduced from 90, 80, 70 to 60, 45, 30. Okay, so it doesn't have the double swap. However, I actually think this is kind of just a nerf because, like, having 2 of them is pretty legit. It actually was very viable in fights. Like, you could, like, just swap. It was pretty cool. Oh, but the cast range was buffed. Okay. So it's a little bit worse, but the cast range is better, which is a big deal on swap. Swap, it's all about how far can you put them out of position, so cast range is a big deal. So I would say this balances out overall. Venomancer, Gale initial damage up. Okay, so it's just better now. So Gale is better at level 1, which is nice because it was actually really bad at level 1 in terms of damage. Viper, Nether Toxin, mana rescale. Okay, I would say this actually balances out because sure, it's worse at level 1, but to be fair, it makes it a worse value point, which is largely what people would do with it, especially if you played Viper as a support, which I actually think is kind of legit. It makes that a lot worse, but all in all, for cores, it's not too bad because you can just take 2 points in this and then, you're chilling. So I don't think this is that bad for Viper. I definitely don't think that. Okay, Visage, attack projectile speed increased, so it's much better for last hitting. That's nice. Familiar base attack time increased. Okay, a nerf, but it got extra damage, so they hit less often, but they do more damage. Interesting. I think that's more damage overall. It's probably a slight damage buff. Scepter Rework grants you the ability Silent as the Grave, turns you and familiars invisible with 20% movement speed, as well as upgrading your movement type to flying. So, okay, so you can fly over things. When you or familiars exit invisibility, you do 30% extra damage for 4 seconds. So basically, you can sneak up on people. But frankly, I don't think that's how you're going to play Visage. You're probably not going to burst them anyway with that amount of time. So, I don't know. Maybe late game, that's okay. But I don't see that as viable. Winter Wyvern, base damage increased by 2 on Winter Wyvern. Cold Embrace base heal per second increased. Okay, that's good. So this is a much better value point now. Really nice value point. You can actually take this in the laning stage. It heals so much. I actually think that's legit. You can really take this in the laning stage. I think people are going to do that on Wyvern. They're going to take 1 point and just heal people in the lane. Honestly, I don't know why people didn't do that in the past, but now it's much better actually, so that's pretty legit. Alright, who cares about the Scepter? Don't buy that. Wraith King, removed Mortal Strike. So that's his crit. It's now a passive cooldown, crit strike ability. Crits, okay, so it's like it's the CK crit basically. Nice, Wraith King got the other CK crit, which is a 4-second cooldown crit. So you can actually time it, which I kind of like. I think it's good for Wraith King. It allows you to like know when you're gonna crit people. That's kind of legit. I do like this. I actually like this. I think it's a buff. Reworked Vampiric Aura, now called Vampiric Spirit, provides you with lifesteal, can be activated to summon skeletons. Same number, okay. Skeletons also have Vampiric Spirit ability. Nah. Wait, does that mean the skeletons can spawn skeletons? Is that what that means? They have the ability? Skeletons can spawn the skeletons? Okay, I don't know. Scepter upgrade now buffs Wraith King units with 75 attack speed and 25% movement speed. Oh, that's cool. And finally, oh, we're at the bottom of the hero changes, the last hero change of the past. Thank you for staying with me, guys. We're going to be doing a video on the shard abilities and all the item changes and so on as well. So keep your eyes out for that. But the last change, Zeus. Woo! If you guys watch to the end, you are a real one. If you watch the full video, by the way, I can't thank you enough, because if you didn't know this already, YouTube, it promotes videos based upon click-through rate and watch time. So how many people click the video when it comes out, what percentage, and watch time. So how long do people watch a video for? So if you watch the whole thing, I genuinely appreciate you for supporting me that much. This is my career. It's also the career of the editors. GameLeap is a business, so there's people who run GameLeap as well. So it helps all of us. It really does mean the world to us. And so yeah, I really do appreciate that. But let's get into Zeus. The Thunder God's Wrath mana cost increased. So nerfed at, once again, this spell costs so much mana. And the cooldown was nerfed. Oh my god. Alright, rip Zeus. Tough. That actually is so bad for him. And his level 10 talent was nerfed. Okay, but at level 20, your Thunder God's Wrath does extra damage, but you lose CDR. There's no way that's better. There's no way I want an extra 100 damage on my ultimate for 12 set. Well, I guess with Ags, it's a lot of damage. You know, 200 plus on everyone. It's 1,000 more damage in total, but nah. Wow, Zeus just got a hard buff. Jeez. All right. Well, the next video that will likely be coming out on this channel is going to be a video where I go over every single shard ability. If I put them all together in one video, this video would have been 2 hours or something like that, or I don't even know. And it would have been too hard to digest, so I wanted to split them up so we could really break down the shard abilities without having to rush through them and getting everything confused. So I'll see you guys in that video. It will probably come out soon after this one. I'm so excited for this patch. And by the way, I have a lot of cool plans, you know, to keep that 3K Smurf series going. We're going to be doing a lot of like experimental builds. It's going to be so much fun. I might even do some things where I play with viewers, things like that. I don't know. So keep your eyes out. So many big things coming with this new patch. And thanks for watching. Peace. And we've been waiting a lifetime for this patch. Speaking of lifetime, GameLeap is currently doing a $50 off sale on their lifetime sub. So if you're looking for thousands of videos and new daily content every day, you can get a lifetime sub for $50 off right now. This is a special we're doing for the new patch to celebrate. So click the link down below, sign up now, you won't regret it. It's quite a large discount. So I really recommend that you guys take advantage of it, and I'll see you there.